Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. Yes, on a Sunday, but we have some breaking news as well as some top story coverage that I wanted to bring to you guys today. So from the Daily Mail, official video of Paris 2024 opening ceremony is deleted from Olympics account as viewers' backlash grows and fans flock to Paris London 2012 showcase, which remains online. So I guess all the fans of opening ceremonies can go all the way back to 2012 and watch the London opening ceremonies. Social media users shared a screenshot of the organization's footage, which showed a blank screen with the caption, "This video is not available." Meanwhile, the show also does not appear to be on their YouTube channel, despite there being coverage of the games both and before and after the ceremony. And full-length versions of the ceremonies for London 2012, Rio, Beijing, and Nagano are available. And it's interesting because I felt kind of bad for Japan for the Summer Games because, of course, COVID came along and completely knocked that out. So that would have been amazing for Japan. So that's unfortunate that they had to experience that. Neither the Olympics nor the Paris Games have given any reason for this apparent omission. Both have been contacted for comment. Of course, everyone already knows what's going on here. So now we see what you can find here when you go to the opening ceremony highlights from the Olympics is not available. So there's some of the shots there from Paris. And we got Benny Johnson here. The Olympics is now trying to memory hole last night's opening ceremony that included mockery of Christians, grown men exposing themselves in front of children, and open degeneracy. Now, of course, I can't show you a lot of the images because of somewhat of what Benny had mentioned there. But I do have some of the stuff here. I'll just show it here. Meet Thomas Jolly, the artist behind the satanic and anti-Christian Paris Olympic ceremony. So his name is Thomas Jolly. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the image because there is a very intentional phallic symbol in the background. But we also learned from Ian Miles Chung that the power had gone out there in Paris. And, of course, people are attributing the events there to that power outage, as it were. And, of course, here are some of the images that I can share with you from Ali London. Paris Olympics apologizes to Christians for Last Supper parody. Now, I just made this kind of a remark to some of these individuals making these sorts of claims because I am fairly certain that if they had mocked Muhammad or Islam, Paris would probably be on fire. Now, that may be a bit of a hyperbolic explanation, but I'm pretty certain because, of course, the Charlie Hebdo incident that happened there in France, where the newspaper Charlie Hebdo was attacked, of course. I don't want to go into too much of the details there, but you guys can obviously look that up. I think we have talked about it here on the channel as well. So here is some of the imagery that I can at least somewhat share with you guys. And, of course, the Paris 2024 organizers have issued an apology to Catholics and Christians over the drag queen parody of Jesus' Last Supper, which saw a scantily clad blue man singing surrounded by men dressed as women. And, of course, in the background behind this individual was a individual. That might be him there. They showed a different image of him, but, of course, part of his lower anatomy was clearly exposed. Now, I don't know if that made it onto television. It may have, but I can't show you that image either. I just can't. And, of course, here we have Marianne Marachel. To all the Christians of the world who are watching the Paris 2024 ceremony and felt insulted by this drag queen parody of the Last Supper, know that this is not France. That is speaking, but a left-wing minority ready for any provocation. So I wanted to go back to Ollie's post here because they say that they do apologize to Catholics and Christians over the drag queen parody of Jesus' Last Supper. So they are now saying that it was, in fact, the Last Supper that they were parodying there. So now we know that it was the parody was of that particular situation. Now, of course, we have here self-proclaimed Christian Jill Biden says the opening ceremonies at the Paris Olympics was spectacular. Doesn't know how the U.S. will top this in 2028. I think she watched an entirely different show. But, of course, we already know, as it is, that the establishment uniparty has uninstalled their surrogate president. And, of course, Jill, arguing for him to remain, of course, probably wanted to do so she could attend all these very interesting functions and formal dinners and galas and all these sorts of things. So, of course, she coming out and kind of defending it. But I don't know how much traction she's going to get with that. But, of course, here in the United States, of course, mentioning this, we have Kamala Harris, Drag Race cameo draws mixed reviews. This might have broken the cringe-o-meter. So apparently she appeared with individuals like RuPaul and so forth. RuPaul's the only person I know. I don't think Ru's even in this image. I don't know. I don't keep up with this stuff, but she made a video with these individuals, Drag Race All-Stars, and very similar to this because, as we know, are currently under the current administration or under the establishment uniparty, our culture and our institutions have been hijacked. And, of course, these individuals then espouse their ideologies, philosophies, and worldviews. And if you disagree, they shut you down, censor you, alienate you, of course, and ban you from the internet, as they did with, say, for example, Donald Trump, who they suggested incited riots at the January 6th. But I find it fascinating because we see a lot of this language, a good deal here. Panic attack over Biden dropping out. So Joe Biden has dropped out of the election, and I am freaking out over the idea of a Trump presidency again. I am a male-to-female trans, and I just know that if Trump wins, the world is going to be taken over by white nationalist Christian terrorists. I truly believe that we will see LGBTQ21A plus people being put in trains and concentration camps if he wins. That's absolutely ridiculous because we see it from the National Archives, from the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and, of course, human rights. From the Bill of Rights, protect speech and religion, as well as the ability to keep and bear arms, the freedom of assembly, and the freedom to petition. So I'm not sure what rights are being taken away from them unless they feel they're being discriminated against, which is understandable, but I think the hyperbolic language is a little over the top when you consider the fact that we have individuals that arrived at the Capitol steps hours after the presumptive or claimed or alleged insurrection that were arrested. And they were actually put into, they're not internment camps or camps or anything of that nature, but they were arrested. Many of them are still being held, because, of course, under the Patriot Act, they can be held indefinitely. So they don't have the right to habeas corpus, which most individuals would have the right to, and that is to a speedy trial. So we have some very interesting breaking news over the weekend with this event that happened. Now, if you guys watched the opening ceremonies, I watched it. Now, for me personally, as a grown human being, I wasn't particularly concerned about it. But, of course, what individuals do in their private life is their own business as long as they are, not breaking the law and are doing something to contribute to society by paying their taxes, so forth and so on. I have no particular issues with it. I think where a lot of it draws the line is when it's introduced to children or forced down people's throats in a way where if it's they're given a platform, for example, on television, and then of course they espouse their ideology, philosophy, and worldview. But again, as a grown human being, it doesn't particularly bother me. I mean, this is something that we talk about here on the channel all the time, is that our culture, of course, has been hijacked, and our institutions as well. And the way they keep everything under control is to attack anyone who disagrees with them. And that's the way they keep it under control, because you're a bigot or misogynist or homophobic, Islamophobic, whatever, anything that doesn't go towards the alignment of the establishment uniparty or even the globalists. Here we see in the EU, this will be more of a globalist mindset here, leftism coming out of Europe. But I welcome your guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What your thoughts were on the opening ceremonies. Are you going to watch or are you not going to watch? I've not watched very much of the Olympics so far, because of the timing, of course, and so forth. I just haven't had the opportunity to do so. But nonetheless, guys, I want to thank all you guys across New Tech as well as here on YouTube for your guys' continued support. Of course, below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to. But, of course, your likes and shares do help out the channel, so I appreciate that. And appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.